Hello, I'm back. So I don't know why my internet just stopped. Actually, I know why, because I turned off my Wi-Fi earlier. So now it's back. So part two of like that fourth version. I was coming back to the end of that progression. He starts again that melody. But notice how it changes the rhythm here. Nothing new here. Again, he does again that motion, you know, with the top note and moving the voices. This is an incredible little moment like that. That doesn't seem like that, but he plays that G, and again, like he's been doing, like the C minor. This is like one of his usual move in G. Like for example, in Nuage, he does that. See what I mean? It's something like that that he controls, you know. So he puts it in right here. The bridge again, but a bit different. Here. See how he does that? Again, he moves like very parallel. And then that same motif that he's been doing, but down and up this time. See? But he starts going down with it. Here, he's going to change a bit the rhythm of the melody. Similar than. But now he's going to play a coda with it. Moving the diminished chord again. See what I mean? Again, that C minor. And now he's going to do, he's going to take the melody again. The same chord that he used to reharmonize the melody, but now he's playing the coda, the last few bars, the last couple of bars to like wrap up the song. This is very, very classical. Okay, let me replay again that coda. That's what he does in the beginning. See? But he arpeggiated it in a very classical way. Here he uses again that 7, that plus. This is like a 7, a plus 4. So he doesn't hear. This is the subtlety, the subtlety of like Django's mind. Instead of doing that here, he's gonna keep that voice. these two notes, which is an E and an A, which in G are the 6 and the 9. All right, let me play it for you, okay? So there is a way of playing it which is like more classical, a little bit more like straight eights, like but I choose to play it a little bit more swing. I like to keep the swing content. It's a bit more playful. That's what Django did too, okay? Voilà. This is it. That's the first one. And now I'm going to play the second one today, which is Echoes of Spain. Echoes of Spain is a composition by Django Reinhardt. He composed it in 1939. So T42 was played in December 1937. So 1937 was a very prolific year for Django in terms of solos. He had Improvisation 1, Parfum, he had this one, he had also the two improvised choruses for guitar. This one is 1939, Echoes of Spain. It's a masterpiece. It's actually one of his most famous solo pieces. So it's the title first. The title is Echoes of Spain. It's not Spain, okay? It's Echoes of Spain. So there is like a dreamlike aspect of it already in the title. The title announces that he's going to tap into maybe distant memories from childhood, the world of dreams, and a certain idea of a Spain that exists only in a dream. So it starts with a kind of like cliche Spanish movement, you know. I think it's to kind of establish the fact that he's going to go touch the Spanish color. And the more it goes, the more it becomes impressionist. Okay? Um, you know, a bit like Ravel composed Alborada del Gracioso in the mirrors, the 5 mirrors. Incredible. Debussy's Granada. There is like the Impressionists, they really loved at that time Spanish colors in their playing, you know, like they added it. But it always remained like at heart an Impressionist piece, and same thing with Django. So now, let me play you the beginning, and you will see it's almost a cliche, except I doubt that in 1939 much people have heard like Spanish guitar. He might have that from like the trip that he took as a child to Spain, or maybe he met some like Spanish or flamenco players in Paris, like who knows. But it's not like nowadays where we like saturated with flamenco and all that. Back then it was probably not the case. But listen to that. It's like Spain. C'est la première section. That's the first section. Sorry, I'm in French now. So, see the beginning. And I like to let those chords resonate a bit. This one he plays, keeping the E in the bass. It's very, bite is great. This is quite a complicated move. Doesn't look like that, but so you have to understand when you listen to that most of the piece, most of the chords are gonna be like those. That's basically it. That's like all the chords of the song. It all remains around that. So it's incredible the shades that he can give to all these chords. Every time different. Incredible. So here, once he's done with this motif, he goes to this little... See? Let's talk more rock. Yes, Yuri, I'm with you. This, okay? Could be totally like Metallica stuff, you know. So we could be totally in rock right here, okay? But it's not the case. And one thing that I like to do between this section and the next one is to let the E resonate as like kind of a bridge between the two, like that. See? The E still resonates. Django stops it. I like to let it resonate. That's the thing. Because I think this has really like a very mysterious atmosphere to it. He really introduced well that okay, so that's that whole section. the way I hear this section is a bit like some kind of like Saint-Saëns arrangement, you know, like the end of Danse Macabre, gloomy dance. Imagine like if a violin or a flute would play that floating melody, and this would be played by a whole symphonic orchestra, by the strings, with like one of the notes, one of the maybe the tonic of the chord of this one, like holding like through, you know, like, and then he plays the next one. So I hear it like as a question and answer between like a melodic instrument and the orchestra. That's the way I hear it. And I think probably Django was hearing orchestral stuff in his head because he was a big fan of Ravel and Debussy again. And you see that? This is Debussy. Here, one note makes such a difference in the chord suddenly. Again, question answer with the orchestra. See that? And he ends up in this chord like totally Django-esque. It's based again on the whole tone scale or whole tone tonality, very mysterious and very like tense and daring, you know. So after this section here, he goes to the next one. And now he moves here and he's going to change tone. And you hear how the voices are moving on top, you know. There is a little melody that is hidden in it, you know. And the fact that he plays it here, there is like almost a harp type of feel to that thing. Oh, no, sorry. I mixed the next part on this one. Then he repeats a similar motif. Now it changes the tone and go to the back of the guitar. And here. Okay, it's a bit of a rubato. It's like a rubato feel, but to me it reminds me more like a feria or like a, you know, one of those parades in Spain that leaves, like there is in Sketches of Spain by Miles Davis. I think it's Soleria, one of those pieces. At the end you hear like the Spanish orchestra that it's like it moves away and away and away and away and to a distant sound, and I feel it's the same thing here. That's my personal. Same thing, I let the E ring. So here it just goes down. He does that with chopping it with harmonies. The F here, it's like a E7 again. So it's like that's really what's underlying it, okay? And here it does this very beautiful motion. Okay? So he keeps that top note again and he moves voices under. He loves to do that. And here one of the difficulty is to keep those voices moving this way. See, like smooth like that. And like very often in the Django solo pieces, like I told you before in the previous videos, there is a moment where it takes a sharp turn into something. It's like reading a Philip K. Dick book. I don't know if you read Ubik or all those stuff. Like you read it, you read a Philip K. Dick book, and suddenly in the middle of the book, you lose touch with reality. It's like someone pulls the carpet, and there is a moment like that. It's a snap where you don't know where you are, who you are, what's going on. It's a physical sensation. It's absolutely crazy. And Django is a similar kind of thing, you know. It's that moment where it changes, like it's a radical change of direction that creates a new world in your mind like that. That really awakens the mind. It's crazy. And that's here. Okay, so he does. Now he's going to C sharp minor. B minor. It's amazing. So beautiful. And again, those sequence with the seventh chord, which is from the seventh, it's called a +4, ending up on a 6 inversion chord, which is a chord with a third in the bass, that creates that effect. It's like Mozart, Bach, all that. Great. Response. This phrase is very, very similar to the cello piece, to the cello phrase in the beginning of the trio in A minor from Wrembel. So in the first movement, at about a minute 50 or something like that, you have the cello that's like a bass line, which is answered by the violin, and this is very similar to that. So we are in that Ravelian, Debussy-esque environment for sure. Get, again, I said it yesterday, I'm saying today again, Wrembel trio in A minor from Walter Gieseking, G-I-E-S-I, no, S-E-K-I-N-G, Gieseking, Walter Gieseking, okay? That's the best version ever on that thing. Maybe I'll post it this weekend so you can just click on it. So, or maybe right after this video, I'm gonna put the YouTube link on my band page and my personal page if you're interested. But listen, at about a minute 50 or something like that, minute 30, minute 50, there is that cello line, which is very similar to this. It could be a violin. And then again, the response from the orchestra. Response. And 3 times. And the third time, he resolves. And once again, he does that thing where he keeps he does again that series of chords. Except there is a specific phrasing for that, where he plays only one every two of these chords, and it creates like that kind of wave, like a breathing, you know. And then you hear that melody. This is Debussy, Ravel. We are still in it, you know. And each note almost has a different harmony. It's crazy. Here, so we are in D7, E7. So when we're in the key of A minor, we have a chord called the D minor, and that's the fourth degree. You hear that this move like well together, the same tonality. D minor, A minor, that's the E. And here, instead of doing, it does directly a diminution instead of that. It's so, the mastery of this mind, it just blows my mind every single time. So same thing here, it just goes from like D minor, 6, and A minor 6. But the real thing, like inside of these chords that we don't really hear when it goes so fast, the top melody does that. But the medium voice, there is a counterpoint here. See what I mean? It's very subtle. It just goes down the scale. A, so it does D, A, G, F, E minor, D minor, C. That's what it does. It's crazy. Okay? We don't hear like that. We don't hear that. That's what it does. So if you play those chords like that with the root position, it's a bit like meh, like that. It's not very interesting. But the way he manipulates those chords, he uses the harmony. It's called, once again, a 6 inversion. It's a chord with the third in the bass. And you see how it creates here a melody, a counterpoint in the top voices. So listen to that. F with the third in the bass, 6 inversion. E minor 6 inversion. D minor 6 inversion. And C 6 inversion. See that chord, for example. You take a song like All of Me. You have chords like that, but if you move the bass, chords of All of Me, like reharmonized like that. It's very rich to use that bass, and that's what he does for this coda. He goes all the way to the C. And then boom, he's done. So let me play you this full piece from beginning to end, okay? Voilà. It's always good to end up a session like that on a dream, Echoes of Spain. So, I'm very happy to see like you following these videos. I feel really good about it. It's great. So thank you so much for being there with me. Tomorrow is Improvisation 3. I love Improvisation 3. It's really, really, really cool. There are two of them, but they complete each other. It's like a single world of like two different, like interactive faces. You will see. I play them for you tomorrow, and then we're gonna take a pause for the weekend and resume on Monday. But tomorrow, still Improvisation 3. at noon New York City time, so 6 p.m. in France, in French. If you speak French, do it. If you don't, you're gonna be bored. And at 3 p.m. tomorrow here for the English version. And I think that's it. If you want the record, Django the Impressionist, vinyl, sounds great. You can find the link on Bandcamp. What else? Oh yeah, Django Agogo has moved to October 6, 7, 8. So it's gonna happen. We are getting on the starting block to tour right now. We're like looking at the whole thing like to reopen. And we're gonna have touring like happening again like ASAP. So you will know everything on this page and my website. And otherwise, all that is gonna be on YouTube. You can go on my channel and subscribe, like it, all that stuff. And I give lessons if you're interested. I still have a couple of spots available. And I think that's it. Yes. So I see you tomorrow. Be well, my friends. And I wish you a wonderful night. Okay? Nelson Odion. Yes. I'm sorry I can't always like respond to all the texts that are coming. It's hard for me to like do two things at the same time, but I see it and I love it. Thank you so much for writing all these comments. They make me feel wonderful. Thank you so much. I love you guys and I see you tomorrow. Bye.